The comet had swept the earth, and this was the end. Was everybody dead? He must search and see.
It was a little-known science fiction story, The Comet, published in 1920 by scholar, writer, civil rights leader W.E.B. Du Bois. It told the story of a comet hitting New York and unleashing toxic gases, taking all human life. A survivor emerges, Jim Davies, a black man.
He walked up Fifth Avenue to a famous hostelry and entered its gorgeous, ghost-haunted halls. He beat back the nausea and, seizing a tray from dead hands, hurried into the street and ate ravenously, hiding to keep out the sights. Yesterday, they would not have served me, he whispered as he forced the food down.
In this new world, a black man had crossed the line, segregation subverted, albeit for a moment. Du Bois's Afrofuturistic story had ghostly echoes from the recent past and the aftermath of slavery. The apocalyptic scenes he imagined may have been inspired by real life. Years earlier, Du Bois had lived in Atlanta.
A city lay in travail, God our Lord, and from her loins sprang twin murder and black hate.
1906, and headlines screamed of white women raped by black men. Mobs of white men took to the streets.
Red was the midnight. Clang, crack, and cry of death and fury filled the air and trembled underneath the stars when church spires pointed silently to me.
Chaos ensued, property destroyed, and more than 25 black men murdered.
And all this was to sate the greed of greedy men who hide behind the veil of vengeance. Bend us thine ear, O Lord.
The abolitionist dream had faded, the hopes of emancipated slaves defeated. Now ex-slaves were cheap labor for the white oligarchs from the South and the industrialists from the North. Jim Crow laws spread, and the lynchings had begun. Till then, Du Bois had been a man of letters, a PhD from Harvard, an African American first. He was also a pioneer. In 1900, he presented the American Negro exhibit at the Paris Expo, a series of graphs, charts, and maps using dry facts with vibrant designs to discredit the myths of black inferiority embedded in scientific knowledge at the time. Data sets that argued for equality, design in the service of social justice, infographics to decolonize the mind. But now came the time for political action. He was one of the founders of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the first civil rights organization in America. Its aim was clear: to end segregation that blighted African American lives, as Du Bois declared in The Souls of Black Folk.
Herein lie buried many things which, if read with patience, may show the strange meaning of being black here in the dawning of the 20th century. This meaning is not without interest to you, gentle reader, for the problem of the 20th century is the problem of the color line.
The color line that defined black people's access to the world, from bathrooms to buses to schools to universities to the justice system. No black man had been so outspoken about the depths of racism in America or demanded its abolition so forcefully. Du Bois did it with metaphors, capturing the duality of the African American condition.
It dawned upon me with a certain suddenness that I was different from the others, or like may have in heart and life and longing, but shut out from their world by a vast veil.
That veil through which black people saw themselves through the eyes of another race, straddled between the African and the American, cast into internal exile, destined to be foreigners in our own homes. Yet with that veil came a gift, a divided self with which to understand this divided nation, the power of double consciousness.
One ever feels his two-ness, an American, a Negro, two souls, two thoughts, two unreconciled strivings, two warring ideas in one dark body, whose dogged strength alone keeps it from being torn asunder.
The Souls of Black Folk ends with an ode to the sorrow songs, songs of suffering of enslaved Africans. For Du Bois, they were the greatest gift of the Negro people. Woven through his writings, the song spoke of a spiritual inheritance, cadences of the Black church, biblical chants that rose above American materialism, the soul of the Black experience.